Today, I want to talk to you about the new definition that's being proposed in many states to define personhood. As you remember, the traditional definition of personhood was defined in 1973 as a result of Roe versus Wade. At that time, we did not have access to the advanced biomedical resources that we have, and so the court, to the best of their ability, from a philosophical and physiological, biological perspective, decided that a person would be an entity that was self-aware, self-conscious, and rational, with three exceptions: newborns who are suffering from genetic defects, and people who previously were self-aware, self-conscious, and rational, but now had fallen into diminished capacity as a result of Alzheimer's disease or dementia or Parkinson's disease. That definition has stood the test of time until 2003. In 2003, with the advent of supercomputers, we performed what's called the Genome Project. We now have a diagram of the genetic makeup of a human being. It is very complicated, but we have it. We can look at it, and as a result, we now know that a human being is made up of 23 male and 23 female chromosomes from the human species. This is incontrovertible evidence that this is what a human being is. This will definitely become a human being given enough time through gestation, through the growth process within a woman's womb, to become a person. The hope is in the legislatures of these states that if the people will vote to endorse this new definition, it's called a referendum, this is still government of, by, and for the people, that this definition will be accepted and work its way through the judicial process, through the state appellate courts and to the federal appellate courts, and finally to the federal Supreme Court. And should the Supreme Court say that this is now the updated new definition of a person, then suddenly any fertilized egg being definitionally defined as a person suddenly has the same full moral standing that the rest of us who are born, who are living outside the womb, enjoy. And as we said previously, if you're a person, you have full moral standing, and you cannot do to people what you might be able to do to entities that lack full moral standing. This is a huge adjustment that our moral landscape will undergo if, in fact, the court endorses this new definition. It will not only affect the abortion debates that we're having, but the embryonic stem cell debates that we're having. If in the removal of stem cells an embryo is destroyed, and that embryo is now considered in the newest definition a person, then that is a intentional murder if the person knows that in removing those stem cells that embryo will die. Again, it changes the whole moral landscape of the moral issues that we have before us, and this will be monumental. Right now, it's just in the form of state laws, state referendums, but there are many states that are asking their people to redefine the definition of a person, and they have every intent to take this to the federal Supreme Court. And if, again, the court decides that this is the new definition, ethics equals the law, and therefore the new ethic will be that you cannot destroy people intentionally, whether it be through abortion, whether it be through embryonic stem cell research. It will be a major change to the moral climate that we're experiencing right now in our country.